So good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. We're here on our free webinar. I'm Sharon Feanny. How are you? I'm just going to put my glasses on and just welcome everybody to this beautiful evening that we have together. Hang on a second. I'm going to close my door. Didn't realize it was still open. There are a few people joining in, so just giving them a couple of moments. And before we actually officially get started, just want to say I'm going to be going through the webinar and I will be pausing so that we can have time for questions and answers. There is a little button at the bottom of your screen that says ask a question. You can type in all your questions there, and I promise you we'll get to all the questions. So thank you so much. Oh my gosh. There's Della. Let's see who is in the house. Kanisha, Leslie, Tamara, Charmaine, Dawn, MJ, Renata, Jacqueline, Trisha, Robert, Michelle, Hart. I'm to see you here, and I know that there are lots of people who have signed up who will come in a few moments or will be watching this recording. So let's officially start. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Sharon Feanny, and we are here, or I am here in Montego Bay, Jamaica, where I live and am born, and I do what I do in the world, which is to help as many people as I can live fit, live life, and live love through my various programs. The format that we're going to use tonight is I'm going to give a little PowerPoint presentation, which I tried really hard to be able to share on the screen at the same time that you see me and we're interacting. But I'm kind of going to go back and forth between sharing the screen, going through the PowerPoint, and then stopping for some questions and answers. So be patient with me if there are any technical glitches, because that's definitely not one of my areas of genius. I have a few, but not technicality. So give me a moment. We're going to get started. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to open my PowerPoint. Can everyone see my PowerPoint here? I just want to make sure everybody can see my PowerPoint. Let me just double check and see. Everybody's answering. Just want to know. Somebody said, Kanisha, you can't see the PowerPoint. Not seeing it. Let me try again. Application window, share screen, share, and PowerPoint. Okay, let me know if you're seeing it now, Kanisha. And I have to get back into here. So were you seeing it? Yes. Okay, fantastic. All right. Officially, we're going to start now with our PowerPoint. So here we go again. Entire screen, share, and PowerPoint. So welcome once more to Tired of Feeling Stressed, Tired and Overwhelmed. So that was me too, and the reason I am doing this webinar and sharing everything that I know tonight is I was that person. I was that person that if you walked into my house or saw me on the street and said, hey Sharon, how are you doing? I'd either say, Lord, I'm so tired, or I'm really stressed, or I'm overwhelmed. That was me for a long, long time until I discovered how to change certain things in my life, to how to up-level my life so that instead of feeling tired, stressed, and overwhelmed, I feel most of the time, and not all the time, I am human just like me and you, but I would say the majority of the time I feel happy, balanced, and in control of my life. And that's a big thing. But if you were talking to me 7 years ago or even 5 years ago, and for a certain period during last year when I was writing my cookbook and creating my new online program all at the same time, yes, there were moments when I was tired, stressed, and overwhelmed. but I was working on a deadline and a project, and that happens when you have to really go into high gear and achieve something. But generally, that was how I would feel all the time. So I know a lot of you came into this webinar tonight because you are sick and tired of feeling this way too. All right, so what we're going to cover tonight is a little bit about me and my journey, the 12 signs that you may be in toxic overload, what's going on in the body when you're in toxic overload that causes you to be stressed, tired, and overwhelmed, why it's important for us to rebalance our minds and bodies and what happens when we don't. And then at the end of the program, I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about Shakti Activation, which is a 7-day online program that I created to bring smart, successful people like you back into balance using the timeless healing modalities of yoga and meditation, rest and self-care, and a gentle but powerful detox program. And then we're going to talk about why, more than ever before in the world, it is urgent that we attend not just to the body, but to the soul first. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a moment, and I'm just going to check in and make sure that you are all seeing the PowerPoint one more time and that you can hear me. It's gone again. Uh-oh. It's gone. Can you just let me know if you're seeing it? Okay. Kanisha, are you seeing the PowerPoint? Not at the moment. No, it's not on at the moment. I just stopped for a minute. Okay, I'm going to put it back on. Entire screen, share, and you're going to let me know if you're seeing it now. Okay? Let me know if you're seeing it now. The only way I can get back to the hearing is stop sharing and get back to you. Okay, yes. All right, let's go again. So far we covered what we are going to cover in this webinar, and we'll continue from there. All right, so we are going to be sharing. Okay, so next thing, just a little bit more about me. My name is Sharon Feanny. I'm the owner of Sharon Feanny Lifestyle. I am a wife to a wonderful husband, Nikki Feanny, and the mother of 3 amazing children. And we all know we love our children, but you know, you go through so much with your children in all these different stages of life. My eldest Toby is 19. She's at university. My son Elias is almost 14, is at school in Kingston at Campion College, living with my mother. And my youngest Noah, who is homesick today, is 11 years old and at school, about to graduate from prep school here in Montego Bay. I call myself a multi-passionate spiritual Caribbean entrepreneur, meaning everything in my life that I have shared with others comes out of a deep and abiding passion. My passion for yoga, my passion for aromatherapy, my passion for nutrition has all come out of my desire to share with others what makes me so happy, what turns me on. I'm a master yoga instructor. I don't know, master is when you have done it long enough to call yourself a master. I've been a certified yoga instructor since 1995, and I've been teaching yoga practically every single 3 times a week since that day. That's almost 25 years ago. I'm a wellness warrior in Jamaica. That's what I want to call myself. I've been an advocate for health and wellness in Jamaica for over 30 years. I created an aromatherapy line called Starfish Oils. I owned a yoga and fitness studio in Kingston for 14 years called Shakti Mind Body Fitness. I created the Live Fit Detox program, and most recently, I created my online program, Shakti Activation, that I'm going to share about tonight later on. And I am a recent author of my new Live Fit Kitchen cookbook, which is now on Amazon, which I'm very proud of. I teach weekly yoga classes here in Montego Bay. I'm a health coach. I conduct yoga and detox retreats. There's a one coming up. I'm heading down to Treasure Beach, Jamaica on Saturday to start my retreat, 5-day Shakti Activation live retreat on Sunday. So excited. I'm a motivational speaker. I do cooking workshops and most recently online programs. And my mantra is live fit, live life, live love. All right, so how did I get here? How did the wellness warrior of Jamaica get to this point where she was completely out of balance? And how did I move from owning a yoga studio to coming up with this idea about creating these programs to help bring people back into balance? About 7 years ago, 2012, I went through a very challenging period in my life. To cut a very long story short, 3 years prior to 2012, my husband, I was living in Kingston. I was running my beautiful Shakti mind, body, fitness, yoga, and fitness studio. I had just remarried, had 2 children. My youngest, Noah, was 6 months old. And my husband lost his business in Kingston and ended up having to take a job in Montego Bay, which is like, at that time before the highway was built, was about a 4-hour awful journey apart from each other. Now it's a little less, it's 3 hours if there's, 2.5 hours if you're lucky. And he was living in Montego Bay. I was living in Kingston. My youngest was 6 months old, still breastfeeding. My middle child was 3 years old, and my eldest was, I think, 8. I had a full-time business, and my husband was gone, and I was running the show at home and at work. First year, I did great. Second year, I started to feel exhaustion, overwhelmed, stressed. By year 3, I was in severe anxiety mode. I was suffering terribly with an indigestion problem I could not fix. I was on Nexium and all kinds of drugs to try and fix this like bloating issue that I was getting. I was not sleeping at night. I had to have 2 glasses of wine to sleep at night. And I was drinking about 5 cups of coffee a day to stay awake and to get up at 5:30 in the morning to open my gym, my yoga studio, and sometimes working till late at night while managing 3 children and seeing my husband on weekends. So it was a really tough time, and I had to make a decision to leave Kingston, close my yoga studio, and move to Montego Bay to be with my husband and for our family to be together. I went into a complete depression. So on top of feeling depleted, exhausted, overwhelmed, having this indigestion problem, I went into a complete depression because I had no idea what a tremendous impact it would have to close this beautiful spiritual vortex that I created in Kingston would have on me. It was like I had almost given up a baby for adoption that I would never see again. It put me into a severe depression. And I found myself in this new town, in this new place, not knowing many people, in this new home, this big old rambling house in Montego Bay, with nothing to do after being so busy, and really in a bad way. And I decided to put myself on a detox. I decided to put myself on a 40-day program. I said, if Jesus could go in the desert and do it for 40 days, I could do it too. And the program that I put together was not a detox that I knew about in the past. I always knew about, severe detoxes or juice fasts or those, I can't remember the name of that detox where you just drank maple syrup and apple cider vinegar and cinnamon or something like that. I've done weird stuff like that in the past, but I had never done a detox where we simply eliminated the things like sugar, alcohol, wheat, dairy, caffeine, all the things that I was living on, and then added in yoga and meditation and just started to take care of myself. So after I came out of those 40 days being really committed to this because I hated the way I was feeling, I came out a completely different person. It was incredible. And I thought, once again, if me, Sharon Feanny, could get into this state of depression, exhaustion, indigestion, unable to sleep, looking like an old hag in the mirror, how many other people could be feeling this way? And I decided to put together a condensed version of this program. I called it the Live Fit Detox program, started to offer it to some people around. The first time I offered it, I had 7 people. And today, 2019, I can say I've taken hundreds of people in Jamaica and all over the world through this program. And this year, or late last year, I decided to put it into an online format so I could reach even more people. The cookbook that I created last year also is a result of the recipes from all the meals that I created that went along with my yoga and detox programs. So I'll share more about that later on. So my passion from ever since I can remember has been to inspire people in any way I can, whether it was through my aromatherapy business or my yoga business or my cookbook or now my yoga retreats and my online program, help as many people as I can to live fit. And when I say live fit, I mean spiritually fit, live life, and live love. So I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. I'm going to check back in with you guys. I'm going to make sure everybody's still hearing me. Let me have a little yes, yes, yes in the sidebar there if you're still hearing me. And a sip of water, gotta hydrate. I just want to know, are you guys hearing me, seeing the PowerPoint? Yeah, I hope so. Let's see if there's any questions. Okay. All right, so I'm going to continue and then I'll stop for any questions. All right, just checking in. All right, I'm going to go back to my questions. I'm just checking in here. Oh my, I see Gemma Cruz online. That is so incredible. Gemma was my roommate in college. We last saw each other in 1986. Hello, Gemma. It's so awesome to have you. This is amazing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, go back to my PowerPoint. I've talked about who I am. I'm going to continue now. So give me a second share. So, all right, so let's move on. So why I am here tonight is I found out that the reason why I was in such a state of stress, anxiety, overwhelm, and feeling awful was because I was in a state of toxic overload. And I have learned so much about the effects of toxic overload on your body and in your life in the last 7 years that I want to share with you. But I want to start with 12 signs that you may be in toxic overload. And when I'm done, I'm going to stop sharing the screen and I want you to please interact with me and tell me if you're feeling 1 or 2 or any of these symptoms over an extended period of time. So 12 signs you may be in toxic overload are, number 1, unable to lose weight no matter how much you exercise or diet. I saw this all the time in my gym. People that would be coming and working out, working their butts off in the gym, doing crazy diets, but they could never shift their weight, and especially around the middle of their body, especially around the trunk of their body. Low energy, always feeling tired, sluggish, and lethargic. Whether you're getting 8 hours of sleep or not, you're feeling tired all the time, chronic fatigue. Sinus and allergy problems, constant congestion. How many people do you know are walking around like complete sinus and allergy problems all the time? Migraines and frequent headaches, that's a big one. Indigestion, bloating, frequent gas, constant diarrhea or constant constipation. This is something that really was a big thing for me. Insomnia, unable to sleep at night, twisting and turning. Skin irritations, weird things cropping up on your skin, like places that are itching you or bumps or funny looking patches on your skin or in your scalp. This is a big one: anxiety, depression, and mood swings, which can be a sign of toxic overload. Yes, I want to know if anybody's feeling that. Severe symptoms of PMS or severe menopause, where you really feel debilitated. Another big one that I'm seeing all the time is joint pain and early arthritis. I'm talking men and women in their early 30s feeling joint pain all the time or getting arthritis in areas of their body. Colds and flus, you catch everything that's going around. If there's a virus going around, you're going to get it no matter what. And then last but not least, unable to stay focused or concentrated. Except for the skin irritations and the migraines, and the sinuses, I had all of those signs. And I just want to stop sharing for a moment and ask you to communicate. Is there anybody out there on this webinar right now who is feeling any of those symptoms? Please don't be shy. It's so important to share. Oh boy, Tamara said every single thing. It's okay, baby. Leslie says 5 of them. Let me know, guys. Just say, don't be shy. That was me, believe it or not. And you're not the only one. There's so many of us who are feeling these symptoms and not understanding what it is. Okay, so I'm going to continue. Thank you for that feedback. All right, so sharing. So those are the 12 signs. So what do most people do about it? What can you do about it? If you're feeling that you can't sleep, you take a sleeping pill. If you're feeling gaseous and bloated, you take an antacid. If you are feeling migraines, you take migraine medication. If you're doing sinuses, you're going to take some medication, right? So what can you do about it? You can take medication to mask the symptoms. Most of us do that. You can pretend it's not happening. You can feel the arthritis. You can feel the anxiety, the depression, and pretend it's not happening or not share it with anybody. Or you can go about this and wait until something really serious happens and then say, I have to do something about it. Or you can take control of your health now, right now, naturally, and change your life. So why are we toxic? Why are we feeling all of those symptoms or 5 of those symptoms? Why? The sad story is, or the sad answer is to this question, is because the world is toxic. We, I'm sad to say, living in a toxic world. The world that we know now is not the same world that our parents lived in. It's not the same air that our parents breathed. It's not the same water that our parents drank. It's not the same food that our parents ate. We're eating food that is full of pesticides, artificial flavorings, and is coming so far from its natural source that it's making us sick. I really believe food can be medicine or poison. Not only that, we're putting toxic beauty products on our skin. Do you know that the average woman puts 512 chemicals on her body before she walks out the front door in the morning? So I'm talking about the shampoo, the conditioner, the hairspray, the makeup, the lipstick, the nail polish, the body lotion, the perfume. It goes on and on. That's just the average woman. We are cleaning our homes with toxic chemicals. These are what they're now being called, something called hormone interrupters. So these chemicals that we're using to clean our homes are called hormone interrupters. They're actually interrupting our balanced hormonal system. We're getting radiation from our phones, our computers, and our TVs. Most of us, I would guess, listening to this webinar tonight, didn't even know what a cell phone was till you were in your early 20s or 30s. We didn't grow up with them. We were not born with cell phones and computers the way that our children are. Combine all of that, toxic air, toxic water, toxic food, toxic beauty products, toxic chemicals, radiation from phones, computers, and TVs. Combine all of that with stress of just living in this modern day instant access world. Combine all of that stress and all of those toxins with toxic relationships that a lot of us have to put up with. We think we have to put up with toxic workplaces. It is no wonder that so many of us are suffering from toxic overload. What you get is not just a physical body, but a mind that is so overloaded that it becomes out of balance, and we find ourselves no longer functioning at an optional level of wellness. Who is feeling like this right now? I can tell you it is probably about 70% of the people that you know. So I want to explain about the 8 organs of detox, and I want to tell you a little bit more about what happens inside your body when your body is in toxic overload. And I'll try to be quick, and I want to just put a little caveat here is that I'm not a doctor, I am not a nutritionist, but I have lived this. I have lived this in my body, and I have taken hundreds of people through detox programs, through my particular style of detox programs, and seen such incredible transformation that all I'm doing is sharing with you what I know. I am just claiming right now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I've just lived this. So the body has 8 organs of detox. Head honcho, everybody knows this. Your head honcho of detox is your liver. But the liver has 6 helpers. He has the kidneys, where your urine comes out. He has the colon, where your feces come out. He has the sinuses, where your mucus comes out. He has the lungs, where your breath comes from. He has a lymphatic system, that system just under the skin that carries lymph through the body. And the liver has the skin. These are the 8 major organs of detox. You with me? I'm going to just check. Are you with me? Okay, I'm going back. Cheryl said she has joint pains, mood swings, and unable to lose the weight. Cheryl, that is so typical. Jacqueline says she has 3 of them. But I hope you're all with me in what I'm saying right now, what I'm sharing. I wish I could share this screen right beside you so I don't have to go back and forth. But maybe next time I will learn that bit of technology. I couldn't figure it out tonight, but I will next time. So I'm going back to sharing my screen again and back to the PowerPoint. So those are the 8 organs of detox. So what happens when we are when there is a buildup of toxins in our body, whether the toxins come from food or drink, whether they're environmental toxins or emotional toxins, all toxins turn to an acid state in our bodies. Okay, all toxins, whether they're environmental, emotional, turn into acid in the body. When there is an overload of toxins and the organs, the liver, the kidneys, the colon, the sinuses, the lungs, the lymphatic system, and the skin they're overloaded. They can no longer process the amount of acid in the body. They dump it out into your bloodstream. So what does acid do? Everybody knows what acid does. Acid corrodes things. Acid destroys things. So when your poor little body can't handle all the acidity and it's now in your bloodstream, how does the body respond? Well, normally we have these beautiful little blood cells flowing freely through our body, through our capillaries and our arteries. But when there's a dump in of acid, the body and the cells actually respond in 2 ways. They either huddle together, like coagulate, join up, the little cells join up together to protect themselves from the acid, or they create this protective barrier around them. So when these cells decide to coagulate, to hug each other up to prevent the acid from getting at them, they kind of, instead of flowing freely through your system, your circulatory system, they coagulate and become like sludge in your body. So if your cells are like sludge in your body, what are you going to feel like? You're going to feel like sludge. You're going to feel lethargic. You're going to feel like you're walking through mud all the time. You're exhausted. The other thing that happens to these cells is they form a protective barrier around them to protect the acid coming in. But when they create this protective barrier to prevent the acid coming in, what else is happening? They're also preventing all the incredible vitamins, minerals, oxygen, phytonutrients that your cells need to thrive. They're not getting into your cells either. So you're not in a state of optimal wellness. And note to self, do you know what that protective barrier that your cells form around them to protect themselves is made from? It's mucus that is made from the liver. So here is your big old head honcho, the liver, trying to detoxify your body, but it's so toxic, it also has to take the job of creating all this mucus barriers for your body. And do you know what that mucus barrier is made from? Cholesterol. So 90% of the people who are in toxic overload will also find that they have high cholesterol. Does anybody out there have all these symptoms and also have high cholesterol? It makes so much sense. So what we need to do is to get the body back into an alkaline state, which will bring us back into balance. I hope this makes sense. You see, it's not just about what we're eating that is causing us to be out of balance. It is how we are living our lives. You see, our parents never had to worry about this. Detox was not even a word, or maybe it was a word if you knew somebody that had an alcohol problem and they went to a detox center because they were alcoholics or addicted to some major drug. Detox is not for that. Detox has a totally different meaning in the modern age. You see, all of this toxicity builds up in the body, causing the major vital systems, your systems of digestion, your nervous system, your endocrine, your hormonal system to be compromised, and puts you into a state of discomfort and dis-ease. So I truly believe in the modern day that we're living in, every now and then it is vital to give your body a time to rest, heal, and reset itself naturally. We do this by eliminating toxic foods and liquids from our diets, by incorporating high vitality, super nutritious foods into our bodies, while resting and restoring ourselves with yoga, deep breathing, meditation, self-inquiry, checking in with ourselves, rest, self-care, and support. So there's 7 major reasons why you should detox. And the one that I want to say the most right now, if you are feeling those symptoms that I talked about earlier, those are just little nudges from your body saying, hello, I am not in a state of balance. You need to pay attention to me. And if you don't pay attention, these nagging symptoms of being toxic overload click over to the other side and become dis-ease, major chronic dis-ease in your body. And this is why your body is telling you something's wrong, listen to me. This is why it's so important to use the tools of yoga, meditation, and self-inquiry to get below the surface of your mind and really check in with your body and then act to restore your body. So if you're experiencing one or more of these symptoms of toxic overload over a consistent time, it is very important for you to listen to what I'm saying. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You need to reset not just your body, but also your mind. This is what I want to get so clear. A physical detox is wonderful. Yes, go on a juice fast. Yes, whatever, all of those things are great. But they do not teach you life skills to be able to prevent yourself to be getting back into that state of toxic overload again. If you feel right now that your life is not in balance, if you feel constantly in a state of stress and overwhelm, if you're lacking focus and energy, if you do not like what you see in the mirror anymore, if you need support and motivation, and if you want to lose those vanity pounds, it is time for you not to diet, but to detox. So let me talk a little bit more about what my detox is about and why all detoxes are not equal. And then we'll take a little break. For me, it is very important for you to know that detoxing does not mean starvation. In fact, I think it is very dangerous to detox only, meaning go on a water fast or an extended juice fast. I think a juice fast is okay for, say, 3 days max. But to do an extended juice fast without incorporating some high vitality food in your body to help to bind the toxins and help you to eliminate them are dangerous. Starvation is not and should not be a part of detox. Powders and pills do not work. Yes, they may work short time, but believe me, I've seen fads come and go. And now there's a whole new fad about the keto diet and the ketogenic whatever diet, the intermittent fasting. Yes, I do believe the body should have 12 hours rest every night from the last meal that you eat till the first thing you have in the morning. But the severe intermittent fasting, powders, pills, injections, they do not work. It's not all about elimination. It is, my friends, the magic formula of yoga, meditation, and self-inquiry with a gentle detox that works. So I'm going to take a break for a moment. Check in with you if you have any questions. If you do have a question, you can post them right at the bottom of your screen where it says ask a question. And if not, I will continue. But it's really important to understand that it's okay to do a quick fix. Yes, sometimes we need to do that. But what I'm offering tonight and what I want to get across, it is about the fact that every single one of us, in order to survive the modern day world that we're living in, needs to up-level every level of our life, body, mind, and soul. It doesn't work when it's just one thing. And I think this is a reason why we're feeling disconnected, why we're feeling overwhelmed all the time or stressed, is that the body, the mind, the soul, those three vital, important elements of our being, human being, are not in alignment or union. So we have our, our minds are constantly busy. We're constantly mind. And what's next? Information. The mind's on, we're turned on, we're working, we're on social media. It's non-stop in our minds. So the mind is constantly going. The body, many of us take care of the body. We go to the gym, we work out, we do all of that stuff. And then the soul, the poor little soul, maybe on a Sunday morning, we go to church, check in with the soul. For me, in order to get back to that state of total mind-body connection where our life feels balanced, whole, and fulfilled, it's about starting first with the soul. And that's why my programs have evolved to be more and more about connecting with the deepest part of you through the timeless tools of yoga, meditation, time in nature, breath work, and being present. Okay? So I'm going to continue. I'm almost done my little PowerPoint. I'm going to continue and then we can ask any questions. So back to sharing my PowerPoint. Share. Yeah. So I just want to, before I tell you a little bit about Shakti activation, I want to talk about my approach, whether you join one of my programs or you want to try something on your own. So my detox portion of my programs have 3 phases and 5 pillars. And the 3 phases are, there's a pre-detox program where we slowly ease ourselves away from what I call the bad boys that I'm going to talk about. What are the bad boys? These are the toxic triggers that are commonly found in our diet that we're going to give our body a rest from. So there's a pre-detox, there's a 7-day detox, and I choose 7 days because I say it takes 3 days to let go, 7 days to renew, and 21 days to a whole new you. So in 3 days, it takes for your body to actually start letting go of toxins, and you can actually start feeling it happen. It takes 7 days to really renew and feel rejuvenated and refreshed and reborn. But if your body has really been through a long period of toxic overload, you probably need 21 days to really shift things inside your body. And then there is the post-detox phase where you don't just kind of jump back into your old lifestyle. You slowly add back one of your toxin, your bad boys at a time to see if one of them is having an effect on you and really causing you to go out of balance. I found out after my 40-day detox that I thought it was the caffeine that I was drinking that was really causing this acidic stomach that I was experiencing. No, it was the wheat. It was the wheat. I found out I was gluten intolerant. I had no idea. Back then, I was eating lots of whole grains, pastas, my Shakti bars from my studio. I don't know if some of you are past Shakti clients of mine, but that was what was causing my acidic stomach and that gaseous indigestion. Anyway, so those are the 3 phases of the program, and then there are 5 pillars of the program. We eliminate, we incorporate, we accelerate, we motivate, and then we reinstate. So in my program for 7 days, we eliminate what I call the bad boys: sugar, alcohol, wheat, dairy, all acidic producing foods, all processed foods. Nothing comes out of a bag, a can, or a box. And caffeine. Even though I truly believe that 1 cup of black coffee per day is good for you, I allow 1 cup of black coffee per day on my program. And then your body starts to slowly wean away from that also. So we eliminate what I call the bad boys. We incorporate what I call high vitality, super nutritious food into our diet. We have green shakes in the morning. We have a small breakfast. We have a big plant-based meal at lunchtime. Plant-based meaning most of my plate is plants, but we do incorporate chicken or fish during those 7 days. If you're not vegan, otherwise you incorporate your vegan proteins. We have an afternoon snack, and we have a soup and salad for dinner, and then we give a 12-hour rest for our digestive system after that. So we incorporate these high vitality foods. There's no starvation. Of course, we also hydrate. And then we accelerate the program by helping the body to flush out or to invigorate all of those 8 organs of detox through the yoga practices. So we work on the liver, the kidneys, the colon, the lymphatic system through the yoga practices. We work on our mind connection by relaxing deeply and touching into the deepest part of ourselves through guided meditation. And then we practice radical self-care, like getting 8 hours of sleep at night, like skin brushing, dry brush massage, and oil pulling, like spending time in nature. That's how we accelerate the program. And then we motivate each other by, we have a live Facebook group. Everybody's on there. I'm on there daily. And we motivate and support each other through this process of transformation. So those are the 5. And then, so then we motivate, and then we reinstate. We bring you back into your life, not plop you back into your daily life. You know, it's like, you know, you go away on this amazing yoga retreat and you have all these Zen experiences, and then you come back to your daily life and you're like, oh my God, back straight into the overwhelm. No. We teach you how to incorporate these practices in your life, for your life, so that your life in your day-to-day experience, whatever it is you do, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a top executive or a mom and a dad and a top executive or all of the above, we teach you this process, how to incorporate these tools for your life. So what is Shakti activation? I am so excited to announce that today we opened registration for my online Shakti Activation Spring Renewal Program. Shakti Activation is a 7-day online program that I've created for people just like you, smart, busy, but stressed and overwhelmed, people who know what to do, but maybe have fallen off the bandwagon or are missing one piece of the puzzle. This is not a quick fix program. It is a complete mind, body, soul reset. So starting April 1 to 7, I'll guide you on I'll be guiding another group on an online 7-day yoga, detox, and self-care journey that will truly transform your life. Spring, as you know, is an amazing time to reset and recharge and recommit to the goals that you had for yourself in the beginning of this year. And Shakti Activation is just a perfect way to do it. During the program, I give you the tools that have helped me become the happiest and healthiest version of myself ever. You receive daily, beautifully filmed yoga practices, daily meditation videos, delicious recipes that come from my cookbook, shopping guides, self-care practices, and so much more. In 7 days, in just 7 days, you will feel truly rested and restored with plenty of energy to move through your days and do whatever you do. You will let go of bad habits that are no longer serving you. Most importantly, you will reduce inflammation and toxicity, acid in your body, feel lean and clean. You will watch nagging health issues that I just talked about, those toxic signs that you're in toxic overload, magically resolve themselves. You'll begin to fit into your favorite clothes again and feel confident and beautiful and love what you see in the mirror. You'll learn a complete set of new tools to keep you on this path for life. And most of all, you're going to feel like yourself again, healthy, joyful, and at peace with yourself. What else do you get? You get all the support that you need with daily emails, live community calls, and a private Facebook group where you can ask questions and connect with other participants who are going through the program. In just 7 days, you will feel so recharged and re-energized and recommitted for your goals for 2019. You see, I wanted this program because I know you are smart, you are busy, but I also know you're stressed, you're exhausted, you're overwhelmed. I wanted you to give yourself permission to take a week of your life. Now, you do not have to take time off work to do this at all. In fact, I don't want you to. I created this program for working people or busy people because you fit this program into your life so that you learn how to create this lifestyle for yourself forever. You give so much to everybody else. It's now time to give back to you. And this program, guys, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to offer it at this price, but it is $97 US, $97. That is the price of a dinner. This is a very, very small investment for a major life change, and I cannot wait to take you on this journey. Here are some of the testimonials of some people that have done my program before. You can read through them. I'll read them very quickly, and then we'll go back to screen. So Nicole Siaga says, it's targeted at every area of my being, physical, psychological, and spiritual. I learned new ways of having a healthy lifestyle that I can actually maintain. It was great to be able to do it at home, and now the program is over. I still have access to all the videos. By the way, once you buy this program for $97, you have access to the videos and meditations and recipes for your life. I was pleasantly surprised at the fact that I don't miss sugar, wheat, or dairy even for a minute. The food was delicious. I'm still using my recipes. The Shakti Activation Program is a gift at $97. No price can be put how it has changed my life. These were one of the best things I've ever done for myself. And they go on and on. I could show you millions and millions of these types of testimonials. So, my beautiful people, I will stop sharing here and come back to you, and to just say that I really, really, really want to help you become the best version of you so that you can go out into your world and do whatever it is that you do to the very best of your ability, because you have this incredible energy and this incredible sense of who you are and what is no longer serving you and what you're not still willing to tolerate, because you want to put your energy into feeling your best self. And I'm not just talking physically, I'm talking in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. So I hope that this webinar tonight has served you. It has certainly been my absolute pleasure to be here with you. There are a couple of questions I'm going to answer. Is it okay to do, Deandra's asking, is it okay to do colonics? That's a great question, Deandra. I am a big believer in colonics because I believe that the colon is such an instrumental organ in our body for detox. However, there are a lot of people I know that become colonic dependent. So you don't eat very well and you say, okay, well, I'll just get rid of it by having a colonic. If you don't know what a colonic is, it's a way of, there's a hose that's pushed up your rectum, and it's like having a hydro bath for your colon, and they remove your built up fecal matter in your colon, which is great. And if I probably have a colonic maybe twice or 3 times a year. Like if I've been traveling a lot and I'm not in my own environment and I just feel that stuckness in my colon, I will have a colonic, but it's not something that I think anyone should become dependent on. I think it's a great tool, and I do think it's great when you're on detox to have a colonic, but I don't think it's something that you should become addicted to. And I know people who are. Okay, thank you so much. Awesome question, Deandra. Excuse me, have to hydrate. Hi, Robert. Robert is asking, are the portions of food in your program dependent on body type or physical activity? Are the portions of the food in my program dependent? So I actually teach you how to prepare these foods. So if you're somebody like me, Robert, who, you know, I'm also into fitness. I love going to the gym. I love being outdoors. I love going for a run as well as doing my daily yoga practice. And there's some days where I need more food. Men sometimes need a little bit more than women. As long as you're following the protocol of no sugar, no alcohol, no wheat, no dairy, no acidic producing foods, no processed foods, then it's okay to eat till you feel satisfied. I know I'm not saying to eat till you're, you know, stuffed all the time. I think that's very unhealthy. But yes, you eat until you're satisfied. So I do, of course, practice portion control, but I believe that if you have a heavy physical schedule, if your work makes it very physical, or you exercise a lot, then maybe you need a little bit more than most people. So no starvation, but stay on the no sugar, no alcohol, no wheat, no dairy for 7 days. Give your body a chance to just come off of those possible toxic triggers and see what happens. Virginia says, thanks for the clarity and the continued support. Virginia, thank you for doing my last Shakti activation program. You are such a wonderful person to have, and thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, I know your testimonials are one that I share all the time, so bless your heart. So if there are no more questions, I'll leave it at that. If you look right below your screen, right there where it says register for Shakti activation today, you don't have to pay or anything today, I don't think. You can click that button and you can register for Shakti activation. Hello, Nancy Burke. I have my two sisters here. Lovely to see you. It has been a beautiful evening. Thank you so, so, so much, each and every one of you, for sharing this with me. I just want to put in a plug for my Live Fit Kitchen cookbook. If you haven't got it, these are 100 simple, delicious recipes from my detox programs that help you to live fit, live life, live love. It's a wonderful book. And it's not just detox. This is just food, high vitality food for life. So this is available on Amazon. Or if you're in Jamaica, they're all over the place. Just check my Instagram. They're Fontana Pharmacy, Carry Man, Woman Home, Blow by Blow, to name a few. So have a beautiful evening. I hope I'll see some of you on Shakti Activation. I am always here for you if you have any questions at all about living fit, living life, living love. Namaste.